Hey yo YouTube, I am here to continue to talk about my D&D game. We start this session off where we left off last time, just killing the vampires. Um, Seeing the coffin, apparently, uh, I thought the coffin was closed, but apparently it was open. And my prediction that we weren't gonna fight the vampire was actually right because apparently we already fought the vampire. The type 2 ended up being the deformed looking one that bit me and took one of my levels. The not Wemmick female whose name is Maris ends up running up and telling me that to look out for an animal and also for someone to run up top and look for an animal. Um, I ended up doing a survival check. Kohaku ends up being the one that runs up there. I want to say his roll was in the 20 something. I won't. I know mine was in the 30 something. Um, I see a rat running into a hole. I I tell the DM that I risk my arm and reach in there. He says just do an attack roll. Uh, I don't remember what I got, but I ended up snagging him, pulled him out. I said I hold him by his tail. Daenerys tells us that that's the vampire, and I say I stab him in the heart with my claw. Uh, we talk it out a little. Apparently like I said, the mutated looking one was some kind of a type 2 vampire. Like I ask if it's a different type of type 2, just like some of the other ones were a different type of type 3s. The undead ones and stuff, I mean, that we fought against. Beck says yeah. Um Search the bodies. I know Raw Right ends up I smashed the coffin, and Raw Right ends up going in there and searching the wreckage. Finds a trap door, I believe unarms it. Um, Ends up finding like a bunch of like jewelry and stuff like that. Like I don't think there were weapons, but there was like gold and stuff down there. So we head back to the fortress. Uh, when we get to the fortress, at some point, I go talk to the female Wimmick that speaks feline, and I ask her, when you first met me, you thought that I was. Last time I said Tau, the name is Tyrannus. Um, that I was part of Tyrannus's tribe, and she tells us to talk to the raccoons. The raccoons were the raccoon folks were the ones that told us the story, so they will be the ones that would know about it. And so I go talk to the raccoons. The raccoons tell me that there is a lead that it's not surprising that they pointed them to hit him or them because they're the ones that tell them the story, that keep them updates whenever they hear something about Tyrannus. And pretty much, like I said, he's some type of liberator, has a small legion of Wimmicks that live in certain ways from here. And I kind of asked if they ever spread out, if you would see them somewhere else, and he pretty much says no. So I want to say after that, I go talk to Maris. Um, Maris, I asked her how long she's been a slave. I want to say she said 3 years. She says something about how like her homeland. I guess she was the leader, and someone overthrew her, and her kind of goal is to get back there and retake her lands. But like I said, I invite her to come with us on the journey. I also invite the Wimmick that speaks feline. Looking back, I kind of wish I would have took all the Wimmicks. Um, Tell the rest of the party that we're leaving the next day. Um, I don't remember if it was before we left or after we left, but eventually, like, because the player who plays Nina is back, we fill them in on what happened last week, and I kind of say something about how like I would have talked to the dog if I would have known how the spell works, but I didn't realize that till we were already fighting. So eventually Nina does go over and like talk to the dog. The the canine folk, pet bull. Uh, she asks his name, stuff like that, and he just kind of like talks like a dog, like just makes like dog noises. Um, sh- uh, like I said, she asks his name. I want to say at first she just asks like how long he's been doing this or something like that. Then she asks his name, and he like points to a tattoo, and it says something at a number. It's something like we've seen the tattoos before, where it says like hybrid whatever. They'll kind of have a number and a name. She ends up renaming him Ivan Doggo, and so the next day or whatever, we go on the journey. I want to say we travel for like a day. Um, Eventually, we get to to some kind of like fortress or a farm, because whenever we enter it, it's like uh, wine a wine farm where it's a bunch of like grapes. I start roaring immediately. Mimics come out, and then like a fat like house cat mimic comes out in like plate mail, and they ask what we're doing. We tell them we are a little more detailed this time because they're not followers of Star Pride, so we have to explain what that is and tell them that we're on a journey to reunite the Limbic people, and if we succeed, we'll be able to talk to our deities, and our leaders will get 9 lives. Um, uh, they speak Marcelonian, or they speak Southern Marcelonian, I believe. So none of us could speak their language. So I'm talking through the female women, Luna, and we tell them that through our actions we got the game shut down, and we released the female mimics that were captured. They say that it's good that the games got taken down, and they tell each of us to bring. We also tell them about somewhat of our party behind us. They tell us each to bring a representative. Uh, I bring Nina. I tell the Luna to bring Maris, and so we go inside, and inside we see like an older Wemmick, like a younger Wemmick that looks like he's just about to become a Paul, an apprentice. Uh, we see what looks like is who's supposed to be Tyrannus, and then there's like two female Wemmicks that are kind of dressed like nuns. Um, Again, kind of go over uh, what what's going on. Tyrannus can actually speak the type of Marcelonian that Nina could speak, and she ends up doing a understand language spell on me. Um, Whenever at some point, like Luna asks, "Why don't I speak Marcelonian?" and I say something in satire, and the older Wemmick understands me. Says like, "Oh, I haven't heard that language," and whenever I go over the story of how we to re-grand 9 lives, stuff like that, he seems like he kind of remembers. The little kid seems like he's like, yeah, right. And Tyrannus asks us a couple of questions, but mostly they seem concerned that there's not very many of them left. Like they love the idea of because like we tell them that there will be a Wimmick kingdom, and so they love the idea of they'll get more territory. And they tell us that there's another group with known as Scorpius Cauldron, and they tell us that there's a lot more of them than than this legion, because that's what they call themselves, a legion, and they're a lot more like most of the legion are lion blood, where there'll be some mixed ones like the fat house cat. And he said that the Scorpio's group is pretty much all mixed bloods, and that they're three times their size, and they're uh, they're running out of resources, and it seems like they're gonna end up attacking them eventually. I kind of say how like every we've encountered we've convinced other tribes, and almost everyone we've went to have all split into two, and we brought representatives from both, so we would like to talk to them. Um, he tells us that if we go there, they're going to attack us on sight, and if we kill any of them, then Scorpio would definitely not want to talk to any of us. So I want to say like the next day. Um, and eventually I get the whole group to come inside this base thing. Um, I want to say it's the next day we leave to go see this other group. Um, like I said again, I want to say it was a little bit of travel. Um, eventually, I want to say they live in ruins or something. Eventually, we live on ruins. We're walking on like a wall or a platform, and then like cat-looking women with like two of them come out with like dog collars with like teeth coming out around them. Unfortunately, this time the battle screen isn't or the battle map isn't up, so I won't be able to show it. Um, but they run in attacking like they said they would. Um, I don't know if Nina won initiative, but she's pretty high up there, and she ends up doing. Actually, I want to say she did, but she ends up doing uh, a command spell, and she commands both of them to take us to their leader. Both of them fell. Both of them run off. For a second, I thought we weren't going to have to fight at all, and then Nina got through it where they weren't going to attack us, but then other ones ended up jumping out. Um, we only fought like four or five of them. Uh, none of them, like I only got attacked like once or twice, and none of them got a hit on me. But at the same time, I didn't knock I didn't knock out any of them either, because like one of the attacks I did a power attack and ended up missing because of it. And then Nina did like 20 points and knocked it out. So I was like, so if I would have just did a regular attack and just got a regular hit, and I would have knocked it out. But once we knocked them all out, we see on top of like one of the towers or walls or something like that, higher up than us, a black cat come out with the crossbow, and immediately, because like them with their collars and stuff, they already look like a Blood Clan from the Warrior books, and so immediately I'm like, that's Scourge. So I ask if he's small, and the DM's like, no, he's not small. I'm like, is he short? And like, I want to say the DM said that not this one. And then another one comes out from the other side, and maybe even before the crossman, like a real big one, it comes out and confronts us, and another crossman comes out, and then a little one uh, that looks just like what I know of Scourge comes out and like ask why are you using two-leg magic to manipulate my men, stuff like that. Um, I tell him that we were trying not to use lethal methods. Uh, tell him the same spew that we told Tyrannus. He's kind of like, oh, Tyrannus, you really jumping at this opportunity to solve your problems and stuff. Like I say something like, "We came to Tyrannus, he didn't come to us," and he's like, "Well, he's quick. I bet he was quick to bring you my way." Um, I know eventually Nina starts pointing out how like most of their men seemed really skinny, so this kingdom will be good for them. Like they will have resources and stuff like that. Um, he seems to have a problem with him not like other Winnemicks having a problem with him not being lion blood. And I'm like, where we're from, we only know lion blood, so we shouldn't frown upon you for it. We've invited other tribes recently, and some of them look like leopards and mountain lions. And then, like at one point, I also say, I know Star Pride doesn't care if you're a lion because the only one I met is a tabby. Um, Nina ends up rolling a diplomatic and rolls a natural 20. Um, so he ends up eventually saying, I'll decide to go if Tyrannus goes. And so we end up going back to Tyrannus's base. Um, Tyrannus ends up saying, I would really like it if we're able to find this kingdom. I want to say now Nina like asked the nun-looking Wemmicks if they would like to try to sleep and see if they'll be able to talk to Star Pride. Pretty much they say they worship Valarge, which is like I want to say a god of life, and they more or less refuse her. Um, and that's more or less where the DM leaves off or cuts the game. He says he's not sure which people are going to be going with us. Future predictions. Probably Scorpio's going to betray us, considering that that's what Scourge does in the books. Uh, also, I have a feeling we're going to continue the the Null story soon. But you want to know the rest of the story, watch my next video. You want to know the whole story, watch all my videos, and check you later.